I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out as we get set to watch Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the one being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rosen, blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Take it at the 37. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Smooth. 56.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. Past the 20. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kalen Ballage, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Come on now, let's go.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk.
Touchdown, Vikings! Tony Pollard hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Mike.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Now Balaj. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves him with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Slam, slam, slam.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. Now it's Allen. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
58, come on. I'm scared. 58, right over there, yeah. Right, go.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty solid against the pass. Toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
And while teams don't like to talk about it, they're pretty proud of their rankings. But this ranking is going to be put to the test today because they're going up against a top 5 passing offense in this one. I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Hey, Zoo.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Allen. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. The Bears on the move. They've got another 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
2nd down and goal. Allen, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. George Kittle with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. On 2nd and 11 now. Rosen firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Now it's Rosen. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 8 yards out, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay,
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 50. Come on. What we got? Wide. Get wide. Hey, tight.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They run it with Balaj. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. They'll run here with Balaj. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Balaj. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. And it's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Allen. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily, when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? They go play action here on first down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Rosen will throw, and he's going to go down again. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go for nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
54. Mike, 54.
A final shot before half for Allen. And going deep for Hill. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've hit. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Set to resume. Here we go with the 2nd half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This one fielded at the 5. And shutting him off. Now open field. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Chicago. He goes 95 yards to the house on the kick return as the Bears push further out in front. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Now Rosa, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continue. To do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
we've
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Mike 319. Mike 5-4. Tackle. Pass.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it.
We got three, fellas, we got three.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On play action, Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Allen now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Let's make these big half.
To throw, it's Allen. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. George Kittle, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game as the Bears push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Check 56. Hey, tight down. There you go.
Throws it on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Rosen now off the bootleg. And the pressure gets to him again. Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
59, Mike.
On first down, Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now as a quarterback, third and long, you really got... Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for... him on the year. Here comes the Bears punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Rosen to throw. Oh, Rosen is stripped of the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And now it's Rosen looking. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Rosen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First under a heavy rush, and down he goes. This guy is in a zone. Remember, he had a sack hat trick last week. That got him NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Another one right here.
I love how you phrase that, in the zone, because I'm a firm believer that like a running back, like a quarterback, when guys get hot and get locked in, the same thing happens for guys getting sacks. Their moves are working, and they're getting home and putting guys on the ground.
On third down, Rosen. And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And Allen is actually going to throw it here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Let's go. Interception.
And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. To throw is Rosen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Rosen. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
58's Mike. Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Hey, Haywood. Hey. 58, boys, 58. 58 is Mike. Army. 58 to Mike, 58. 58 to Mike. Watch the screen. Middle. 58 to Mike. 50, go.
So Allen's going to look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. 3rd down here. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. It's going to be
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch. Hey, Delta. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Hey, watch Sam. Check, Mike. 50. Half. Dude. Alert. Check 49. Switch.
Allen going to go on 4th down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeForest Buckner, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rosen. And it's incomplete. And now we're down to 10 seconds. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep.
That's caught inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
So we had action to the very end of this one.